on to this freaking album.
Album review. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. So
Oh
this week,
yeah.
I mean, it was inevitable that we're going to do this, but my favorite band of all time, Metallica, have released a brand new album. 72 Seasons is the 11th studio album by American thrash metal band Metallica. It was released on April 14, 2023. I'm pretty sure I don't need to give an intro to Metallica because they are one of the biggest bands ever. So here we go, Eric. Your thoughts on Metallica's brand new album, because I am completely jaded about this band at this point, and I want some positivity in my life.
So like let's start off with like I've listened to Metallica albums before. Obviously we have reviewed the Black album on here
Mm.
before, and we've reviewed I think we've reviewed Saint Anger.
Oh, do we do Saint Anger here?
I think we did. We did another Metallica album. I can't remember which one it was. This is like the very
we
like first.
we did the Blacklist. The
Yeah,
Blacklist
yeah, the
was the
Blacklist.
yep, and the Black
Yeah,
album.
and then we did another album.
We did another
Was it?
Metallica album.
Yeah,
Okay,
was it Master of Puppets?
could have been Master Puppets,
I
but
think it was Master of
I don't
Puppets.
remember.
Anyways, we did another one. So I mean, Metallica's one of those bands. It's like it's a heavy band.
Mhm.
Um, Positivities I would give. Like I feel like it was well produced. I feel like it was like the sound was good.
Mm.
Like what I love about Metallica is just that driving just guitar, like that rhythmic guitar, like right. The problem I had with this album is I feel like they shouldn't have maybe not have opened with 72 seasons
Okay, okay,
like with the album, because I feel like it's a seven, like it's almost like 8 minute song,
almost. Yep,
7 to 8 minute song,
yep.
right? And I feel like that song, like it's like, all right, yeah, this is Metallica, like you can tell it's Metallica, and then it's like it just kept going. It just kept going, and it was like the song that never ended.
And
Um,
to add on to that point, this whole album has a bunch of false endings. Like there's so
mhm.
many songs on this album where you think the song is about to end, and then they just keep going for another two
Yeah,
minutes.
or they do like a weird key change.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like I know 72 seasons does that for sure. Um and like I just felt this album had a drive,
Mhm.
right? But it was the same drive for the whole album. There was nothing like you didn't have the nothing else matters kind of like feel like there's no ebbs and flows in this album. It was just
Right,
linear,
right.
right? And that's where I felt like I had an issue with it. Um, I feel like if I listened to the songs individually at
Mhm.
each time, I feel like I would have liked them better. Like I feel like 72 Seasons is a good song, but I don't think it's a good song at the very beginning of the album or the opener. Or like I feel like the arrangement, like even if you arrange the song, I feel like the just that linear thing would still happen because
Mhm.
I feel like every song on this album is the same beats per minute.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Mhm. Like I remember listening to this album being like, oh, is this song over? Oh, it's not over. It's still continuing. But it wasn't even done like so for all you movie buffs out there, I feel like Michael Bay produced this album,
Ooh, that's a good point.
right? Because it was just so like blah that like I was actually listening to this like a lot because I wanted to find some good stuff to bring to the table. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to make it a goal to convince Kem this is a good album, not a great album,
Right.
a good album. But I
Mhm.
can't. I just can't.
I don't even know where to start with this album. I think my without like thinking about it too much and structuring my argument, the first thing that comes to mind is the guitar solos on this album.
Mhm.
The guitar solos by Kirk Hammett on this album are possibly some of the worst guitar solos Metallica's ever done. I don't know what happened on this record, but it all sounds like Kirk showed up to the studio one day and said, "Oh, these are all the songs on the album." And he's like, "Okay, let me listen to it." He listens to it once and then he picks up a guitar, starts just shredding,
Yeah.
does two
It's like
takes, does two takes, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna take the best of those two takes." This is like
coming
what
from
it
a
sounds like.
coming from a guitar player, it's like guitar soloing 101.
There's like
Like,
there's
yeah.
no like there's no
Mhm.
build up, there's no like cohesion, there's nothing. It's just him just like doing a pentatonic scale randomly and then switches to some other part and just keeps improvising like his whole solo and puts like a bunch of wah on it. It's like
This yeah, and that's exactly like when I first started playing guitar and playing with you, like when we played in our band for the first time. Like I honestly, that's the thought that came into my head. I'm like, this is like the stuff that I would play when I first started playing with a band because I felt like it was just so basic that
yeah.
it was just like this has no feel to it. It's a like like it was literally like, oh man.
Like I don't know why he chose to do like take some time to like construct your solo. Like it's the only thing you're contributing to this band.
Mhm.
Like do something interesting, but it's just all noodling and just like random guitar parts. Like he would put the fast like shredding part at the beginning of the solo and then somehow go into the slow part at the end. Like it was insane. Like
Mhm.
the guitar solos on this record are terrible. They don't make any sense whatsoever. It's maddening.
Yeah.
um, Positives. I do agree with you. Production on this album, they actually got it right this time. It actually sounds like a good record because like you
Mhm.
can't. That's not a guarantee for Metallica. Apparently, with their $1 million budget, they can't. Sometimes they don't produce the record properly and it sounds like absolute
Mhm.
garbage. At least this one actually like was listenable. Um, Lyrics. James Hetfield's lyrics on this might be his best slash second best set of lyrics
Mhm.
that he's done on any Metallica record. He's become very much more in his sober life stage of life. He's become very more like introspective and like
Mhm.
philosophical on like what is happiness, what is it to be depressed. Like he's going through a lot of like mental
Yeah.
health like topics through these. Some of the songs, some of the lyrics honestly were nursery rhymes. Like he was rhyming like
Yeah.
stupid shit like sky and by. Like it was like very basic, but that was like
Mhm.
few and far between for like the whole
Uh,
scope of the lyrics.
I know what you mean. Like he definitely like I found that with the lyrics was probably the best part of anything created in this album
Yeah.
because like the song screaming suicide, that was like a really heavy hitter because
Yeah.
it's like wow, like this is actually like deep stuff that he's talking about,
Yeah.
unfortunately in a very basic like basic musical stand.
Yeah, I mean, like, and James Hetfield is a wonderful lyricist. Like, you look at albums like Injustice for All or Master of Puppets, like, those are like masterclass in lyricism.
Mhm.
The record is deep in terms of what the lyrics say, but like some of them is just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then as strong as the lyrics are on this record, like melodically, like nothing was like it was just shouting a lot of the times. There wasn't like a
Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't like a catchy for the most part. There wasn't a like hook or a catchy melody line coming from the vocals. There wasn't like any
Mhm.
of that. It just all
I
whatever.
I felt when I listened to this album, it was like something a band would produce for their first album,
Mm,
like an indie amateur band
right.
producing their first album. This is what it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, and to the point, it sounding like a first album. Like this album very much sounds like a combination of their debut album, which is Kill 'Em All, and then sort of their post Black album, like Load Reload. So like it
Mhm.
still sounds like that sort of early new wave of British heavy metal slash punk sort of vibe to it, but then it's also has like this more mid tempo, halftime, sort of heavier songs sort of mixed
Mhm.
in there. So like
Mhm.
I think they sort of try to capture some sort of like balance there. But man, the whole album is just so mid tempo. And I don't think Metallica's ever done like, there's very few albums that Metallica has, or not albums, but very few songs that Metallica has that's mid tempo that are actually like phenomenal. Like they
Mhm.
write really good heavy and fast songs, they write really good heavy and slow songs, they write really good ballads, but mid tempo halftime, like sort
Mhm.
of like bluesy rock type of stuff is like not,
It's just,
it's not in their
yeah,
wheelhouse.
it's pretty basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like when Metallica comes out with their ballads and their hits, it's as much as Enter Sandman is played over and over, like, and we've discussed this before, like it is a good song.
Yeah.
It's just overplayed,
Yeah.
right? But they're not coming out like with that caliber anymore. It's literally like almost like a jock rock.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Right? Like all I picture is, yo, bro, like let's go to the gym, bro. Let's pump some iron, bro. Let's listen to 72 seasons, bro. Like that's all I picture listening to this album. And I literally tried. I tried to find stuff that I was like, I'm gonna try to convince Cam this is a good album, but I just can't. I just can't.
um, I'll add on to the positive pile. So Lux Eterna, which was their first single off
Yep.
this album, that is like a grade A, top
Mm,
tier Metallica song. Like that's such a. I'm glad they chose that as the opener, like single for this album, because
mhm,
like at least there was something out there in the universe that said this album could have been good, right?
mhm,
Lux Eterna is like a great song. I think that should be in like Metallica's set list all the time because I really like
mm.
that song. Um, and then towards the end of the album, Too Far Gone, I think is maybe their second best song on this album.
Yep.
Room of Mirrors was okay. Like those two songs I would say were like pretty good. Um, and they definitely had like a new wave of British heavy metal influence with like their like harmony guitars. I really like that. That was like really good parts in there. But like outside of that, man, like
Mhm.
these songs just don't do it. They're just not good.
it it was very hard to listen to this album front to cover
Yeah.
each time because I found myself just losing interest every single time. And again, like I stand by what I said earlier. I like this is it was almost like this album was like a bunch of songs that they've written throughout their career and they decided like if they spreaded this out in their career and maybe added these songs to albums here and there, I feel like they would be perfect fits.
Mm.
But like, creating an album with this, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah. And like I hate to be like this Metallica fan who's always like poo-pooing on like the brand new Metallica release, right? Like 'cause if you look at any the past 20 25 years of Metallica on the internet, like everyone shits on the brand new Metallica record. It doesn't matter how good it is. Like everyone has
Mhm.
something to complain about. They're like, "Oh, Kirk uses too much wah," or like James Hetfield's not on
Yeah.
pitch, right? Or the snare drum sounds like
Yeah.
shit. But like, and I hate to be in that group of Metallica fans who can't
Mhm.
like get over that they're never going to be the Master of Puppets, the Ride of Lightning, and Justice for All, Kill 'Em All. Like they're never gonna be that band, and Black Album, they're never gonna be that band again. Like they are 60 years old now. They're never gonna go back to that, right? Like, and I don't want to be that fan that's like, no, this is my band and this is how they should always be. Like, but
Yeah.
this record just like there's nothing new that they're doing, and it's like It's uninspiring.
Like, and going back to like what I said about Aerosmith, like as much as he lost his vocal, Steven Tyler, like you still watch him live, right? But like it's almost like Metallica should be like one of those bands now. It's like play your shows, people will still come out and see you, and they'll understand, right? Like you're aging,
Yeah.
right? Like you can't do the same stuff as you can. So coming out with new albums thinking that they're gonna go big, I don't know.
Yeah. Ben says they release an album to tour. That's his opinion. And the Saint Anger snare drum was terrible. And like, I look at albums like Saint Anger or Hardwired to Self Destruct or Death Magnetic, like their last three
Mhm.
studio albums, and I have for each of those albums, I have something really positive to say, and I'll tell any person who wants to get into Metallica, hey, these are the songs you should listen to off those albums. Like, those are definitely albums I would not
Mhm.
tell anyone to avoid. This
Mhm.
one, I would actually tell people don't listen to it. Outside of maybe Lux Eterna, like, there's no reason to listen to this album.
Yeah.
Like even Saint Anger, the one album that everyone hates, I would tell them like Invisible Kid or The Unnamed Feeling, like go listen to those songs or listen to the Some Kind of Monster
Mhm.
radio edit because like that song is phenomenal. It's just like 6 minutes too long. It's a
Yeah.
9 minute song. It should have been 3 minutes. So go listen to the radio edit of it. Like there's like positives in every single album, but this one,
Mhm.
it's like one, maybe two songs.
Yeah. Like I again, it just sounds too linear.
Yeah.
It sounds too linear to me, and this album is easily forgettable out of anything they've come out. Because I remember listening to Saint Anger because you told me those songs to listen to, and I did, and I enjoyed them. But this one, as much like I feel like, yeah, the lyrics you can say greatly written,
Mm-hmm.
production very well done, but everything else was just so, it was like a Michael Bay movie. It was just like explosions and no story, and it was like, okay, yeah, was it a good movie? I don't know, it was entertaining. I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, Eric, let's wrap this up because I can go on about
Yeah.
Metallica forever. So, final thoughts, ratings. Let's do it.
um I was actually heavily disappointed with this album. Even like we didn't even talk about like the album art. I just felt like the album art was very like it, like they could have done way
The
better.
my
In my
eyes
opinion.
hurt looking at this.
I know it's like you know when you see that one color, like a bright color, and then you look somewhere else, and then it's like you see like green or whatever. Like that's what I felt like this album's like.
Yeah.
Like even listening to it, I was like, Jesus. Like, I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 10,
Oh my god. Oh my god, it hurts. It hurts so much. It
and
hurts.
it sucks because I do like Metallica. I like not as much as you, but I
Yeah.
do like Metallica.
And like it hurts because I totally agree with you. I'm gonna give it a 3 just because there's two and a half.
one one sympathy vote
There's like
point.
two songs on this record, two maybe three songs that I actually like, and I think
Mhm.
James Hetfield really dug in for the lyrics on this one. But that's it. There's nothing redeemable about this album.
It's gonna be easily forgettable.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
like
It is so sad. Chasing dragonflies.
and this is why I like when Metallica comes into town, I'm probably not going to see them for this tour
Mhm.
because it's going to be new album heavy. Like half the set list is going to be the new album.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to sit there and listen to half this album. It's insane.
Yeah, you might as well go just put on Transformers.
My my heart my heart hurts. This is my
Uh,
favorite band and I can't. Every
it
album.
it sucks because they are a good band,
Yeah.
and this album should not define them
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Like anybody listening to this podcast, like there are so many things. I just like everything that they've come out. Like even the Blacklist album. Like
Mm.
Like it was good. Like I thought it was a cool idea, but like even having that many songs, like I was talking about this with Ben the other day, and we were saying how like you don't need like 32 you, Enter Sandman covers on the
It's too
album.
many. It's too
Like,
many.
oh man. But like as good as some of those like covers were, it's just yeah, I don't know.
They need the
They're all
money.
about the money now, right?
Yeah. They need
So
to. They need to afford that vinyl plant that they just bought.
exactly.
Um, Ben saying they're not even coming to Vancouver, which is weird. Yeah, Metallica's sort of at that point where like they don't have to do like 300 days on the road. They literally, I think for this year they're only doing weekends. Like I don't think they're
You're gonna
doing Monday to Friday shows. They're just doing a Saturday and a Sunday, going home, and then fly out to where they do Saturday, like they're only doing Saturdays and Sundays, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna laugh if they get a spot in Vegas.
Maybe.
Metallica at the Bellagio every
Sad.
Friday night.
So sad. Okay. Anyways, that's our discussion on Metallica's new album, 72 Seasons. Still a freaking, like, my favorite band. This album's not going to change my opinion of them, but man, this record's not good. For those of you who are following along with us every single week, the album that we will be discussing and reviewing will be In Between Thoughts, A New World by Rodrigo and Gabriela. Acoustic guitar, guitar duo, Mexican guitar duo. So it should be really, really good. Alrighty. Let's wrap this up. We had no controversial statements. I mean, unless you really liked 72 Seasons for some strange reason, then our whole like 30-minute conversation was all controversial, but I don't know. I don't know about that one. But yeah, that's basically it. That is the Crossroads Music Podcast here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast. We're here every single Monday at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places where you get your podcast. I do enjoy talking about Metallica, but man, sometimes
I feel like it's like a soft subject for you.
Yeah.
Because like you love it so much. But like even their like album that everybody loves, like you have an issue with. So I feel like it's almost like you and like I said last episode, it's like you and the Leafs.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
It's like this just like this emotional roller coaster.
Yep. You cheer for
It's
a
like
team that's just never gonna do anything amazing. Never.
It's all ebbs and flows, like a relationship.
All right, perfect way to end this. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you all next time.
Peace.